who are willing to realign your energies. This is a serious workshop. Actually, we will be using the energy of the world card in the tarot cards. So the world card actually represents by itself one of the highest energies. It's the appreciation energy. Once you realign yourself with the appreciation energy, you want it or not, but everything gets into place. So today I want to start with you in understanding some very basic understanding how energy actually is flowing throughout our body. So let's have a look at it together. Let's have a look at it. And let's understand the flow of energies, how actually energy is flowing and what's happening within our bodies when the energy gets stuck. When do we actually start feeling kind of like, there is this sensation that something is not flowing. Whenever the energy is flowing correctly, what's happening is we feel that rise. We feel that rise within us when we walk through life. It's like the ecstatic sensation within. Now, let's have a look at this. We have, everyone is looking at it? Okay, 7 chakras. 7 chakras. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 chakras we have in our bodies. This is like per ancient Indian knowledge. It was already discovered. Probably there is no even one single person who is doubting here that there are chakras in our bodies, right? So let's actually look at it together. So we have root chakra. We have second Svadhisthana chakra. We have third chakra. This is this one. Actually, you guys read it from right to left. That's why I will not even write it. I will just name it for you. So there is the solar plexus. It is in the hair. It is that power chakra. This is it. And that is what most of us here are experiencing, that sensation of stagnation. So when we actually feel something is not happening to be in the right way, and that stagnation is brought by mainly mental kind of like problems. And this is in the tarot cards. This is so represented by this card, which is Z. Do you recognize this? This is the card of madness, okay? So when we look at the card, I want to show you something. So when we have that peace inside, we have that clarity, that is the representation of this type of energy, which is hidden in this card, all right? This is Ace of Swords. But the evolution of swords, the mantle evolution brings us to this. And that is the card, the 10 of Swords. It's complete madness, dimension, okay? So, and that's when we observe these two cards, we can see that by going with the logic, we actually go nowhere. By the way, 10 of Swords is the card of Gemini. So those of you who are Gemini, you probably can see that there is so much like activity going on here. I know this for sure. I have so many friends Gemini, and I love this. I love this zodiac, actually. My husband is actually a Gemini, and it's just tremendously beautiful sign. But those people who are in Gemini, they have so many ideas, but lots of, just so many ideas, but very hard to use that sword in one direction, because Gemini here can confirm that many times you kind of like do something and another hand wants to undo it, just you do and then another hand just breaks it. And that's exactly the representation of it, all right? So I observed these tendencies in lots of Gemini. So there is, by the way, guys, I will answer all your questions, if any, in the end of this workshop. Keep on asking. I see that you are typing those things, so please type those, because again, This is the workshop. We interact here, so your questions, they will be addressed. Now, so we started from this root chakra, then Svadhisthana, it's the chakra of desires, right? And then there is solar plexus, and that's the context in which I mentioned that many times we have problems here because there are problems in here. They are so much interconnected. So, and then I started showing you exactly this problematic card. So any kind of doubts, concerns, you know, just everything around that creates so many deficiencies in this chakra. Now there is heart chakra, and then we have Vishuddhi, right? So it's our throat chakra, and then third eye, and then we have Sahasrara. Sahasrara, it's just in here. That's our connection to the divine, the highest of the high, whatever you call it, the universal flow. Now, why I mentioned all this now, so that's a basic education here, the basic reminders for all of you, that whenever we have some issues on any of those chakras, anywhere here, whenever we have certain disturbances, whenever we go out of the center in any of those chakras, what's happening truly is we go out of the center. So those chakras, they are literally wired like those circles. Let me show you something. This is just like circles. And that's how energy is flowing in those circles. Okay? So let me just maybe use another marker. So energy is flowing in those circles. Now, imagine, just to give you some perspective, if you are going to the periphery and you are not standing in the center, what's happening is, let's say this is the chakra, you are going in multiple directions like this. You cannot see truly, meaning you went out of the center to the periphery. Of the center to the periphery. That's exactly what's happening when there is this disturbing flow. That's when your energy gets stuck, okay? So whenever we get from the center to the periphery, there is the stuck in their energy. Now, let's see how you get out of the center here. You were born, you were in the center as a child. And if you observe children, they're so joyful, right? So that's what's happening. This is the center for each chakra. Now we go through life, we start being educated. That's when we get out from the center to the periphery by so many beliefs or misbeliefs about ourselves. Now we get out of that center to the periphery, all right? So we start being here. And I want to show you something. Once you get out of that center on any chakra level, let's say on the Vishuddhi, that's what's happening. You cannot already see clearly the reality because this is a disturbing thing. You are on the periphery. All right? So on the periphery, that's where the frustration happens. And if you get out to that periphery in your Vishuddhi, in your throat chakra, that's exactly the beginning of the chaos. Now let's say you went out in the periphery in your heart chakra. All your system, because this is an organizing center of it all your system, okay, in that heart chakra gets disturbed. All your system is disorganized. Now, what brings our heart chakra out of balance? What brings that heart chakra actually from center, which is love, to periphery? Let me tell you something. It is anger. So with anger, we get out of that center. we come back to that center through love, through forgiveness. Now, that's how we actually get back to that centeredness, exactly like this beautiful queen, right? This goddess. Do you see how she's dancing in the center? Now, what else is happening here? Let's say Sahasrara chakra. This is the connectedness to the divine. Once you are disconnected from the divine, when there are issues here in that seventh chakra, we cannot find our purpose in life. We get lost completely. We don't know what to do. So we get out to that, you see, like that border. We are not anymore in the center. And what's happening? It's happening because of one single thing. We are controlling too much. So that center, the Sahasrara center, it's actually activated to be on the border, right? When chaos starts, when we control too much, we get out of that center by thinking that we must control too much. So the antidote to come back from that periphery in the Sahasrara chakra, the antidote for that to come back to the center is humility. And that sense that, wait, I am letting go what is not serving me. I am letting go what is not serving me, and I'm letting go who is not serving me. Okay? I'm letting go of all the toxic relationships into my life. Because remember, toxicity, no matter where is it coming from, who is it coming from, it's still toxicity. And it's just like how to give you like which perspective. It's reminding that poison from the snake. So the snake, in fact, it has only a limited distance to spit its poison. So when you have that snake nearby you, let's say the toxic relationships, distance must happen, okay? Distance to heal yourself first. If that poison, let's say that person who keeps on spitting on you, like that snake, because it is in pain, he is or she is in pain, they keep on spitting on you, they are poison. So I have the rule, love first, but if it doesn't help, distance. And it's just like, what is that distance? Well, you reduce the frequency of communication and interaction. It always helps. It works like a charm because there is the distance within which the poison cannot reach you. All right? So it just works. And when you do it that way, you observe it, you see, wow, I can start that healing process to establish those healthy boundaries. And there are actually, like, I would love to show you that beautiful card for healthy boundaries. This is one. So just when you start working with this card, it actually helps to meditate on it. You see how she's establishing her healthy boundaries, being in the circle, right? No matter what is happening around her. And this is a really, really important just to use the power of symbolism to penetrate inside your soul. So we already talked about the Sahasrara chakra. It's when we establish too much control. We established that control. Now we are on the periphery. The energy stopped flowing. Okay? When we are on the periphery of that circle, we are not in the center. We don't have that clarity. We don't see clearly. So in this case, this is what's happening. We are spending too many efforts being on the periphery. We don't see clearly. We don't have that Zen approach to life. Okay? Now then comes that third eye. Third eye, in fact, when it is disturbed, when do you get out of the center in that chakra? When do you get out? There is only one thing: when you lose the sense of safety. You stop seeing clearly. You don't trust. And we all are exposed to that. And then guess what? many people, when they get aged here, they start having issues with their eyesight, right? So we just don't trust any more life. We are into that safety mode, so it starts affecting our eyes. We want to control things. Sahasrara chakra is blocked. Now it affects that safety, just I want to just be safe. And it's a natural thing, especially in this chaotic world where we are living today. So, and it's understandable, but just also know why the energy here is blocked. Okay, here specifically around the eyes. And the devil, actually, I was studying actually the Chinese medicinal world, and I was surprised how devil there is very much associated with the eyes. So the first thing to attack is the eyes. So meaning that we stop really seeing everything correctly. We start living in the illusions. We get out of the center. So like from like the Antichrist is born, the ego is born. Here we are truly into that centeredness. We are trusting the divine flow. That's actually the energy. And if we start working through those chakras, using this card one by one, standing in the center, we can actually realign our energies. We can truly realign them in a really beautiful way. Trusting life flow is a really powerful thing, especially for the westernized world. I've been traveling for more than 10 years. And the interesting thing which I noticed that actually in the East, I noticed that people are so flowing and trusting somehow the life flow, while in the West, we are really kind of like holding over many things here. We have so much, but we keep on holding things. So that's safety concerns. And those safety concerns, that's exactly what brings us from the center to the periphery in the third eye chakra. The antidote for that snake, because this is like the poisonous bite of the snake, right? So the antidote to bring you back from the periphery to the center, specifically for your third eye, is that inner trust. Okay, trust. Even if it's hard, you wake up, and the first exercise to do, we have a workshop here, by the way. So the first exercise to do is to reconnect with your breath flow. It really is that important thing. Reconnect with your breath flow. Just feel your breath, that life process within you, that miracle within you. Now look around you. See if people who you love are around you. Or maybe you are living alone. Maybe call someone whom you love. Are they still breathing? Not everyone is actually waking up the next day here. Just see statistics. So not everyone wakes up. So when everyone whom you love woke up, isn't it an amazing thing to keep on living, keep on trusting, keep on working with this reality? That's how we start opening up to that trust, inner trust, that there is still that hope for this world, and we reunite with that divine flow of life through breath. And it's so interconnected with that centeredness and with that third eye center. Now, whenever we step away from our vishuddha, we either talk too much or we talk too small, we don't raise our voice, we don't stand up when we actually have to protect ourselves or our beloved ones, or raise our voices to spread our light. I know so many really powerful spiritual workers, and they are not daring even to stand up and raise their voices, and they say, Yulia, I'm just afraid to be seen. Yes, vishuddha is actually in disorder. When you're afraid to be seen, this means that there is that periphery here. You are on the periphery, and just to give you perspective, as I mentioned before, if you are on the periphery in that chakra, and it's literally like that circle, let me show you what's happening. You are not in the center, right? So not in the center. If you're in the center, you are standing like this. If you're on the periphery, look what's happening with your energies. Okay, now I want to ask you a question. Will you see something? Will you be able to see something if this is what's happening on the energy level with you? Okay? So it's just like that small representations. You always want to strive to go to that center, just like this beautiful goddess here. She's standing in the center, not on the periphery. All right? So that energy, we don't feel it physically, maybe, but those who are women, they feel it, the sensation of disorder all the time, right? So, and you can see it in people. They either speak too much and unnecessary, or they cannot even stand up, raise their voice for what they need to express. Or it really affects, let's say I want to start my spiritual business. I cannot stand up for myself. I cannot really stand up and do that real impact into the world. Why? Because I'm afraid to be seen. I'm afraid. Ooh, this is a lot of work which needs to be done here. All right? Now, there is the next thing which I wanted to show you. So you probably think, wait, Yulia, I'm on the periphery, let's say here, but how can I come back to center? Very easy. This thing is happening only because one time in our life we compared ourselves to others. And again, it's not your fault. We were educated here that way through many years of our education at school, at universities. That's how we were wired here, day in, day out, for 10, 15, and even 20 years. We were set to be the best students. We were set to strive for the best marks. We started comparing. And we started saying to ourselves, imagine if you're continuously said that you have to strive for these best marks. You start comparing. It's inevitable. And then because you compare, jealousy is developed. And then we stop appreciating things. So the antidote specifically for this area, if you ever experience issues in this area, especially physical ones, you want to start focusing on that appreciation. It will really help you, okay? Now, heart center, I already mentioned, and you can come back. So that is the love which we start developing to really use it as an antidote to any kind of wrath and anger. Now, solar plexus, temperance. We even have that card in the tarot deck. Let me find it. There is an amazing temperance card, and it's standing between the devil and death. Right? So that's how we deal with life, doing the right things. It's representing actually sattvic energy. So per Indian Bhagavad Gita, there is the book Bhagavad Gita, and I actually, let me show it to you. I would strongly recommend, it's part of your assignments who are really interested. This is an amazing book, So 𝐋𝐿 he actually lived what he translated. He's a translator of Bhagavad Gita. Very easy book to understand, to read specifically for the westernized world, written in English. It's really powerful, deep texts there. But what is amazing about this specific book, and I would give you like as a beautiful gift, like here as an assignment actually, take it on Amazon and just really start reading it. You will find there the description of so much wisdom, and specifically from energy perspective, that there is sattvic energy, rajasic energy, and tamasic energy. So the sattvic energy, in fact, is represented by this temperance card. Let me just even find it for you here. It is a tremendously powerful card, because when I was just working with the cards from energy perspective and I was observing that card, somehow it's hiding in here. I don't know why. Yes, here it is. And I was observing that card. Guess what I figured? Like it's standing so still. It's standing in such an easy way and at the same time precise, mathematically precise way. You see how it's holding these two chalices, these two cups, and there is not even one single drop, which is kind of like spilled here. Everything is extremely mathematically exact. When we observe this card from Soul's deck, THOTH, it even is saying it's the card of art and science. So this is Rider-Waite representation, but when we look at it from Soul's deck, it's the card of art and science. So, and this is it. It is actually so exact. It's a mathematically exact card, because if we start looking at every kind of art, what is beautiful in our representation when it is really kind of like synchronistic, rhythmic, right? And when there is that symmetry, if we observe, let's say the rose, right? So the rose, look at the symmetry here. So it's so beautiful. When we look at it, the whole, it has that sacred geometry of this cosmos, this rose. So when we work with roses for any kind of connections to something beyond us, to that centeredness, we understand that the rose has all the secrets, in fact, and there are really powerful meditations like Rose on the Cross, Rose in that center. So you can clean your energies just by working with the energy of the rose. Okay? Now, let's get back to our chakra flows and where the energy can get stuck and how can we realign it. So we talked about the solar plexus chakra, now Svadhisthana chakra. It's the chakra of all the desires. And especially, it is very, very important chakra for women, because if it's not in order, that's when we start having lots and lots of issues. And it's not in order when we get out to the periphery, when we're not in the center, when we're not kind of like pleased with life, when we just go to that periphery and we try to please others. We are not pleased with life. We try to please and perform. Okay, and that's where there is this complete disbalance. I know what I'm talking about. I was working extremely hard, starting from 6 a.m. and finishing at 12 a.m., you know, when I just started working. And I was working in a huge audit company. And I remember it was a really crazy thing. I was like a really workaholic, and I ended up being on the medical leave in the end of the days. There were so many disbalances here specifically. So I learned my lessons that it's very, very important to come back to the center, especially for women, because this Svadhisthana chakra is really, really important for us. Guys may be okay still there, but girls, that's when our whole feminine essence may get destroyed if we start running too much there. That's when we dry out. We become like the desert. Nothing can satisfy us. That's when we start chasing so-called performance. That's when the Svadhisthana chakra, everything in our sexual organs, specifically this area, starts getting disturbed. We lose that sense of being empress of this life. When we come back to harmonizing Svadhisthana chakra, we actually, let me show you something. There is the card which is called, I just want to show you that card. For some reason it is hiding from me. But there is the card which is representing a very healthy Svadhisthana chakra energy. Yes, this is one. This is it. This is it, okay? So once your Svadhisthana chakra is in order, this card is representing it. You're just sitting like that empress in life, all right? And there are like multiple exercises what you can do to like make it in order. I remember one of the most powerful ones for me was when I stopped wearing underwear. Really, I just really used that accent. It's not like I don't wear it all the time, but I wanted to feel that sense of freedom within, and that sense that, wait, I don't want to feel myself anymore in those borders. And the interesting thing, such a small exercise, when you use like a skirt and you don't have that underwear, you feel that release and sensation in that area, and that's what reunites you with this beautiful energy of this card. It's extremely interesting sensation. So I would recommend for you that. And once you get to that healthy wiring in Svadhisthana, naturally you will meet your emperor. It's just naturally will happen to be, because even in the sequential order in the major arcana cards, first happens to be Empress and then Emperor. You must restore yourself first in that area. And then you start seeing clearly, is that the right man nearby you? Do I need to invest time there or not? So before that, you cannot really see. Women are the most powerful investors from that perspective, because behind every powerful man, there is the powerful woman. Cherchez la femme everywhere, in fact. But that's what it is. Everything is backed in the feminine. Everything is nurtured by the feminine, and these codes actually, they were strongly encrypted here. So if it is not happening to be that way, there will be extreme disbalances in the energy of Svadhisthana chakra here. That's when you start really being in that periphery. If you are in the periphery here, there will be really lots and lots of problems in that area. And I will not already name there, like starting from endometriosis and all this stuff, you know, it's crazy things which is happening in a woman's organs there. So, but once it is really happening to be in the center, flowing in the center, everything gets harmonized, everything gets restored somehow in a beautiful way, because in Mother Nature, and this card, representing this natural restoration of its all. That card is strongly related in its energy with this. So that's how we come back from all the stuck energy in the Svadhisthana here in this area. Now the last chakra is root chakra. That's where you sit, right? You sit on that chakra. So if it is disbalanced, if you are stuck there, you may feel laziness through the day. You kind of like want to do something, but guess what's happening? You go to the periphery, laziness might happen. And the enchainment there, it's the distractions, it's doubts, and you don't have completely that follow through to do something, lack of discipline. Okay? Now, the way out of that periphery back to the center in the root chakra is diligence, diligent work. Now, how to establish it? The practice, which you can start using, is the following. You literally start, let me show you. That's the easiest way to beat any kind of stagnation in the root chakra, that lazy energy. You have a goal. Let's say you have a goal in 30 days to attain something. Now the easiest way, you distribute, like you mark 30 days. Okay, there are 30 days, you mark them, and then once the first day has passed, and you just say, hey, I need to do those 30 steps. 30 days means 30 steps. 30 small steps. By the way, this guy once said that the pathway in 1,000 miles starts from one single step. So the way to actually balance that root chakra for absolutely everyone, and especially for women, because many times we just go to that periphery, being disturbed by our Svadhisthana chakra, right? This the chakra of our sexuality and desire. So we actually being disturbed there, and then we get completely out of balance in the root chakra. So there is no that rootedness, especially if you are too activated here. You may be completely not grounded in your root chakra. And I see it again and again in many. So how to unplug it? Use this technique. Basically, I have something to attain. It seems to be so huge, so big. Well, maybe I will not attain it even in a year. Okay, split it in 3 years. First, we split it in 3 years. And then you chunk it. You understand what I want to do in this first year at minimum. Now split this year into 12 months. Okay, you chunk it. It's the power of that chunking planning. Now take this 1 month and split it into 30 days. And now you just need to do that one small step today, and then mock it. One small step tomorrow, and then mock it. One small step after tomorrow, and then mark it. There is power in that. It's kind of like you start gaining that sense of confidence within you and balancing your root chakra to coming back to your center, because it's not even about that action, it's about the intention with which you do that action. That's what's real. And even if you don't do it perfect, even if it is like, you need to auto-correct it along the way, course correct, who cares? What matters is your daily action. It is not a jump start. It is not it. It's a huge marathon. And this is a spiritual practice. When you come back to the center in your root chakra, you come back to the center in your root chakra, you balance it out from rushing on the periphery to the center. That's how you start attaining things. That's exactly how I built my business, with these hands, okay? So I was never thinking it is possible to do that leap from 9 to 5 to building my successful spiritual business. I was thinking it's unattainable. But you do it as shifting the paradigm. That's what words in here. I shifted the paradigm, that it's not even about anything like getting. It is not about it. It's the spiritual practice, and I owe it to the world. If you want to really express those gifts in you and do the real world impact, you start treating the activity within your body today as that offering to the world, and using this powerful technique of chunking daily, doing those steps literally daily, and that's how you attain that confidence. It stops being about you, it starts being about the world, your offering to the world. All right? So, and that's how we realign the energy of a root chakra back to the center. So, in summary, let me summarize to you again. How do we realign all the energies? When we realign them, we go to that ecstatic flow of energy within our bodies. We become like gods here, truly. We start doing something which we never imagined is possible before. So let me summarize. When your root chakra is not balanced, meaning you are on the periphery and you are not in the center, the only reason for that is that you are not grounded. You are getting to that laziness mode of this life, when this whole life is actually bringing you to that lazy mode. The only way to get out of that laziness and that comfort, because the enchainment of laziness is comfort, distractions, and lack of follow-through, the only way is diligent actions every day. That's the only thing which worked for me to beat it, okay? So that's the power of that planning and chunking your huge goals to those small steps. You start those step by step. And this whole being talked about this. He talked about that. That's the pathway of 1,000 miles starts from one simple step. You just need to be intelligent to plan it, and then just mark it, and you become more and more confident on riding the horse of life. Because this life is like a horse. It's like rodeo, you know, it's even not a horse. It's like that bull, you know, those who are living in Texas, they probably can understand me. So it's like a rodeo, right? So this is related to root chakra. Now the second is Svadhisthana. When it's disbalanced, when we are on the periphery, when and only when we are experiencing those kind of like unlimited desires which were imposed onto us by the society. And this lack of clarity is strongly related to the third eye. When we don't see there is disbalance here, there is clearly disbalance in this second chakra, I promise you. So the powerful way to clean it, you start cleaning through third eye chakra. Let me show you. You inhale through your mouth. You exhale through third eye chakra. Of course, you exhale through your nostrils, right? But you envision that you exhale through your third eye chakra. You start that cleanse. And you exhale through your third eye chakra. Exhaling through nostrils in physicality, but see how this thing starts exhaling it. This kind of breath is cleaning this. It will start cleaning your second chakra as well. And another exercise what you can do to bring yourself back to the center from the periphery in your Svadhisthana specifically, just purify your space. Because whenever we have problems in that area, a very easy way to start feeling some kind of just that sensation of energy in that area, rebalancing, just clean your space a bit. Clean it. Clean whatever is around you. This is one, by the way, of the rules of Lakshmi, the goddess of abundance in Indian traditions. She was accompanying Vishnu, who is the god of balance and centeredness, all right? So we definitely want to learn from those guys, right? They really know something. So purifying your space a bit, even a bit. Oh, I have such a disorder, just something. Just clean a bit. It will work. You will sense that sensation of light and ease. And then guess what? You will love it. You will want to do it more. Okay? Now, this third chakra, solar plexus, if it is stuck, then we over it. We overdo. We kind of like do something all the time. We are always on the rush. We don't evaluate anything correctly. And the only way to bring us back to balance is temperance. So there is a powerful card also, temperance. I just try to find it. Cannot find it right now in my deck. Oh, here it is. So temperance, it brings us back from the stagnation energy in the solar plexus to that center. Because whenever we are in that stuck energy in the solar plexus, I repeat it again, we actually feel weak, or we feel like, it's very, many guys are going there. They feel like they are big guards here. The ego is inflated, or there are problems with self-esteem, and then guess what? We also have issues here, specifically in solar plexus. We cannot build anything in this. So when there are problems with self-esteem, we should find it specifically in this area. And then digestion is always affected because of that. So in order to come back to the center, use the energy of the temperance. And the powerful thing here is, what is that next right thing to do? Righteousness is the really powerful code to harmonize yourself back to the center from the periphery to release all the stagnation in that chakra. Coming back to the center, so that actually those of you who will start doing it, you may experience even harmonization of your digestive tract. You may be really, really surprised there. Like, what is happening? So you keep on doing what you are doing, of course, but if you add this, what is that righteousness, right thing to do? What is my next right thing to do? Just ask yourself that question, because that is the energy of temperance. That is the energy of that harmonization within this flow here in solar plexus. All right, so here we heal it with love. So whenever we are not in love, we are on the periphery, in the heart center, destroying everything. It's wrath. It's satanic energy, in fact. It's really, really destructive energy. So wrath is represented in the Bible by Satan, and it's in the center. It's destroying everything. Everything. You become like I will destroy freaking everything. You become like an atomic bomb. Many women can connect to that, right? So I don't care, I will destroy everything. I'm unhappy, okay? So, and that is the thing. That is the thing. Guys, they do not go too much there. And if they go, everything is destroyed as well. But women are exposed a lot to this then, So we want to continuously to come back through practicing that compassion, understanding, compassion to ourselves, and releasing it through the power of judgment. The way to beat it, there is a powerful card for that, again. And the energy for us here, which can bring us back, is, let me see. I had this beautiful, powerful card. It's the Judgment, actually. The Judgment, okay? This card is the card of enlightenment. When we start seeing situation not as we were thinking it is, we start seeing it from multiple perspectives. Now, the way to balance yourself there is, let me show you. You balance yourself through the following way. There is an exercise. So there is a problem. And you're on the periphery and you may be seeing only this. Now, I want you to do the exercise. If you get stuck somewhere and you experience that anger, that wrath, or that judgment over a person, why is he doing that to me? Why is she doing that to me? So I want you jump in the center by doing the following exercise. You do it, you lift yourself up, just like you become like that seer, like this angel. You start seeing from the higher perspective. Now, Jesus, he had 12 disciples, okay? 12. And in our watch, right, we also have number 12. It creates a circle. And there is a reason for that. There is a reason for all that. In order to be in the center, we must see the same situation from 12 different perspectives. 12 different disciples actually wrote different verses about, like, stories about Jesus in the Bible. And I was amazed how, like, let's say, Luke, he wrote one story, or when we read John, it's a completely different story. Or when Matthew wrote, it's a completely different view on Jesus and his path. So why is it happening? One person, right? One, but different stories. So we start studying Jesus from those stories, from multiple perspectives. And Bible actually is written in a very metaphorical way. So when we start understanding what's laying behind those metaphors, we see that wisdom. So I want you to do the following. You have a problem to jump from the periphery, and that's how much you may see now. That's how much you may see, and it keeps you stuck here, not allowing you to get out. You have a problem. Now, to get out of that problem, you want to just ask yourself forcefully this one question. Hey, I want to see different perspectives on this problem, at minimum 3. Not the same, not just like he's an idiot, she's an idiot, whatever. No, 3 different perspectives. 1, he's an idiot. 2, already something different. Okay, I want you to see something different. 3rd, different than that. I promise you, on the 4th perspective, your anger will start disappearing. Okay, that's how we develop that patience, that antidote to come back to that center here so that it would stop destroying us, that anger. Now, so you have your exercise to come back to compassion and love, to centralize yourself in the heart center. Now, Vishuddhi, you centralize yourself through appreciation. So those of you who have issues here in this area, you want to just start appreciating what you have in life. Very important. This will start harmonization in this area, harmony. Now here, we want to start trusting divine flow in life, trusting, daily reconnecting to our breath. That's how we jump. That's how we jump from the periphery to the center, specifically in that eye area. Okay, so everything in here. Stop holding over something and we start trusting. And this is a really powerful practice to reconnect with those life processes within you and start trusting divine flow. And then Sahasrara, when we continuously kind of like experience that praying within us and that humility, that everything what I have today, it's not even my things, it's actually what was given to me by the divine. Because in the moment when we say, no, it's me, we shut down this and we start being here, it's the pride. So the pride is beaten by humility. So, and you can find those powerful virtues, by the way, in the Bible. You can find those 7 demons who detract us on each and every chakra as well there. And just enjoy those understandings, enjoy those practices. This will help you to really unplug you in each and every chakra level from periphery to the center and start experiencing this life from the new perspective. All right, I hope you loved this workshop. Give me a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. And I'm not coming too often live here today. I just did it because I promised it to my group in Facebook. So by the way, I really recommend you to check it out. It's a beautiful group. You can find it in the description in the YouTube channel here. You can ask me questions there. I'm very active there, coming here and there. And the last gift, which I wanted to give, whenever you have issues with any part of your area, it's kind of like your body tries to communicate you something. I, for example, had the issue in my right wrist. You may see it as a left wrist, it's a right wrist. Now, wrist represents flexibility and service, flexibility in your service. So, right, how I accept my gifts. So I was doing my meditations and I just was very stubborn in accepting the next kind of like chapter in my life. I was very stubborn in that, and guess what's happening? I ended up being on the periphery, and that's when I started like having issues with this out of the blue. But I already experienced much more ease here in this area, and I'm on my way to healing. So it's much better, but I just wanted to give you that also gift that your body is the living purpose. Your body is the living possibility. Your body is so much communicating to you all the time. So if you start really seeing it, whenever you have issues in any part of your body, it's communicating to you where is this stuck energy, in which area, and you can start becoming that self-healing, self-integrated doctor, in fact. How is that? So keep doing all your practices, what you are doing, but what if you add these practices which I told, to your rituals, to your rhythm of life, and just see what happens. All right, I hope you will enjoy it, and this will allow you to come back to the new way of living. Thank you so much. Wishing you a blessed day. And by the way, just because I'm not really here often, subscribe to the channel so that you get updates about those lives, because again, I am here for you guys. And in case if you have questions, type them. I don't see here many questions right now, but anyway, if you have anything around this session, I will answer gladly. Thank you and wishing you a lovely evening.